How did you get this number?
Dylan Jancy gave it to me. Did I not call the super cheap golf and stripper club hotel resort?
No, you didn't.
Didn't I? Oh, I'm just trying to put something together so I can explain Summer Scrambler number 6 this year.
The Summer Scrambler. Brett's going to be pissed he doesn't get pop culture references. You're not going to insert movie and show clips that only you get and find funnier you.
I've broken down a few choices for us to take a look at. Some pros and cons on each. The one big caveat is with Airbnbs in BC, nobody knows if they're going to be around. A lot of them say that, oh yeah, for whatever reason, but with legislation coming out, we don't actually know if they're going to be around, but they are significantly cheaper than any other accommodation. But here are options for Summer Scrambler 6.
The Sandpiper.
First option for accommodation for Sandpiper is an Airbnb. He doesn't know if he'll be around after legislation. It is in a complex and has some pretty strict rules on noise, no parties, and no events. 7 beds, 2 of which are sofas, so we'd have to air mattress 1. But it's cheap. It's $7.95 a night. You're in for 3 and change. And it's on a lake, 15-20 minute drive to Sandpiper. Option 2 for Sandpiper accommodation is at Harrison Hot Spring Resorts. Similar distance, 15-20 minutes. They can put us all almost together in 4 rooms, standard 2 queens, 2 guys to a room. Downside now is you got the 1 restaurant to eat. They've got a nice pool. It's near a lake, but a little more in terms of cost. You're looking. That's actually the most expensive accommodations out of the batch here at like $5,800. So that could work. Course option 2 is Semiahmoo Golf Resort, just across the line. You can call this one lean and local because probably a 40-minute drive for most of us. Standard 2 queens, 2 guys to a room, 4 rooms. The course isn't anything special. It's not high ranked, and it's actually kind of cool. It's down a little bluff, but you'd be kind of sequestered there. But it is a private resort, and we would be able to play it as people staying on site. There is a pool, but it is cheap, and it's close.
Welcome to the OC, bitch!
America, fuck yeah. Just a short 4-hour drive south of the border into eastern Washington lies Suncadia Golf Resort. It has 2 courses and a 9-hole par 3, 3 restaurants, 1 cafe, 1 or 2 pools, and if you want to spend the extra money, we can also go fly fishing and ATVing. Now, as for accommodations, we can stay at 81 Miners Camp. It's just off the fairway, so we could probably sneak on and hit late night dingers. Comes with a small games room, hot tub, full 8 beds, 1 king. That's a twin day bed. Someone's got to sleep in. Another queen, or another king, and then 2 sets of bunk beds, Xboxes, PlayStations.
I like it a lot.
Now let's say, fuck it, you're down for the 4-hour drive, but you don't want a higher cost like Suncadia. We can do Osoyoos and crash at Airbnb. Similar to Harrison Hot Springs, it does have the caveats of noise and curfews. She thinks she's going to be exempt from bylaws and legislation because she's on indigenous land, but it is cheap. It's like same thing, $750 a night. In terms of beds, you got 1 queen, 2 bunks, 1 king, another queen. The resort's nice. It's got a little pool, a hot tub. We're not too far from the lake. And I think I got this budgeted for Sonora Dunes and Fairview. So it's a solid contender. if we want to keep costs down.
Meeting in the middle of the desert always made me nervous. It's a scary place.
Now, let's say you don't care about drive time. All you care about is cost. Low budget option is Sicamous. So Sicamous would have Mira golf course. Nothing crazy fancy. It has one of those signature holes like a Furry Creek. Airbnb, he thinks he's exempt because he actually has an Airbnb license. It doesn't apply to him. In terms of beds, you got 2 queens, 3 doubles, 2 queens, a double, 2 queens. So more than enough beds per person. $525 a night. Golf is pretty cheap there. They have a hot tub, but it is pretty residential. Lake is close by. Golf course is close by. It's all 5-10 minute drives, but it is, at the end of the day, Sicamous.
Well, it's good to know there's a floor on this thing, so.
Come on, is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it.
Is it worth it? If you know where the floor is, should we know where the ceiling is? What if you don't spend the least amount possible, but, without being ridiculously expensive, what's the highest pack that's really going to get you? I can do this. So let's say we want to work with Gulf Central Tours. Well, he can hook us up with Victoria Golf and Country Club, a private resort. It is Canada's 4th best ranked course. It is the oldest course in Canada. We would have access to 2 caddies and the lounge as long as you respect the rules afterwards. Does come up with some caveats and possibilities, but he is the one and only into this course. He can also hook us up at a discount, but it is a consideration on the second package, of 2-bedroom suites, each with 4 queen beds to a room in downtown Victoria, each with patios and kitchens. And he would provide shuttle service to and from each course, possibly pick up from the ferry. Otherwise, we would have to factor that into the budget. And then in terms of second course, it would be Bear Mountains Valley course. It's the easier of the 2, but these are the 2 most expensive golf courses that I have probably ever seen, and are definitely the most expensive courses in our options this year. Victoria is an interest. There's just too many ways to cut it. We can get into the weeds if it's a strong contender. We could do like a 3-star hotel and play Bear Mountain on the course, but you're 20 minutes outside the city, which means after the course closes, you have to go into town for food. You can stay downtown at like one of those 4-bedroom suites. And then, there's dozen courses within a 20-minute drive that you could all do. So yeah, there's too many options to break down for Victoria, but there are a lot of options. They would all be in the similar ballpark of price point, just a matter of like how you want to take it. Okay, so here's the end of the day breakdown for you bean counters. Sandpiper staying in Harrison Hot Springs. It's expensive and it's a course we've already played, but it's nice and local. You could do the Airbnb in the same area, but do we know if it's going to be around? And comes to noise complaints and curfews, is that an issue? But it's significantly cheaper. We can go and do Semiahmoo across the line. It's cheap. It's a standard hotel. There's nothing fancy course-wise, hotel-wise, and you're kind of stuck to that one and only restaurant. But it's on point for cheap and local. Suncadia, completely, absolutely sick. It's more expensive. It's one of the most expensive out of the bunch, and it's a drive, but it offers a lot. There is that small thing too about, is there going to be some noise complaints and restrictions? But that's going to be with any Airbnb or accommodations on a property or in a resort like that. Like Soyuz, same thing. Soyuz is the cheapest out of the bunches, but it's a drive. You have that noise complaint, you have that proximity to other people. Courses are solid, they're decent, mid-ranked. Sicamous is nothing fancy. It's $500, but it is a 5-hour drive, and you're in not the nicest of houses, and you're not playing the nicest course, but at the end of the day, it's $500.
Bear Mountain Fairviews. Again, this is just too many ways to do Victoria. Bear Mountain Fairviews, you're staying on basically on the resort, but at a not nice hotel. And same goes for food. You've got the one restaurant there, kind of like any hotel that's not centralized. If you want to do Victoria, though, you could do downtown Chateau. It's decent. It's a nice hotel. Standard for queen or 2 queens, 4 rooms. But your downtown Victoria, it's close to everything. It's kind of like a Whistler trip we did. Or there's like the Big Dick Victoria Golf package. I mean, we could shed a few bucks off that if we wanted to do some cheaper courses, or one of the cheaper courses, or 2 cheaper courses. But that's the nicest hotel. It's the nicest courses. There's a $1,000 swing here. The only other thing too is none of this factors in prizes. There will be no swag. We've probably seen about 20% inflation this year. You do your $50 to the winner. Maybe a hat if I can do it really cheap. But at the end of the day, you need to factor in gas, travel, food, booze. It's gotten expensive this year, so we'll go from there.
We'll have a vote.
No, we won't. We're not a democracy. We're a collection of
golfers.
this. So we're going to make the most informed decision available to us.